Carolina has dropped 3 of their last stinking 4 games, man, and they are plummeting down the top 25 rankings. I'm actually surprised that they're still in there. This game right here, though, is one that Carolina cannot lose, period. Huddle up.
You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation and college basketball family? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ, the Tar Heel, and welcome to the men's department of Carolina basketball. And in this huddle, man, we're going to talk about Carolina's home tilt against the 10-8 Notre Dame Fighting Irish in Chapel Hill, man. And the game is going to be aired at 7 p.m. on ESPN2. Carolina, like I said, has dropped 3 of their last 4 games, and this is one that it would be an absolute calamity, a travesty, a catastrophe, if you will, man, if Carolina loses it, period. But before we actually get into the nuts and bolts of this one, man, I want to give a huge shout out to the Huddle hooligans for helping me keep these daggum lights on, man. Believe it or not, a ton of work goes into these things. The content, the planning, the producing, the editing. Believe it or not, it's a one-man show right now, so I cannot thank you guys enough for helping me keep this space going for Tar Heel Nation, man. If you're new here, welcome to the Tar Heel Huddle, man. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, find that join button at the bottom to get access to the Discord, and you can come and chill out with the infamous Huddle hooligans. Live reaction to watch party this Wednesday night, man. Your boy is going to be working a little bit later than usual, man. So the game plan is to go live for the second half in this one. So I want you guys to enjoy the first half with friends and family, but don't forget to stink and pop in and hang out with your boy for the second half. All right, now that we got all the admin stuff out of the way, man, let's start with the updated top 25, where UNC somehow only drops 8 spots to 22nd in the country in the AP poll after once again losing 3 of the last 4 contests, man. And that actually surprises me because I anticipated that they would for sure drop out of the top 25. But I'm glad to see a number still by their name. Carolina is currently in 11th place in the Atlantic Coast Conference, 3.5 games behind Clemson and Duke at the time of the making of this video. So we have got to get right, and we have got to get right fast. Perfect game to have the Irish at the house, if you ask me. Now, the Irish are led by head coach Micah Shrewsbury, who is 38-46 in his 3rd season at Notre Dame, and they've lost 4 games themselves. At Cal by 1, Clemson by 15, Miami by 12, and at Virginia Tech by 13. Now, according to sportsreference.com, UNC and Notre Dame have met 41 times on the hardwood, with Carolina having a commanding 32-9 series record dating back to the 1949-1950 season. The last time that these two teams met was a 76-56 whooping in South Bend back in March of 2025, when Jalen Withers, of all players, had a 7-for-10 night from the field, scored 21 points to lead Carolina. And, he was helped, if you will, by the guy that shall not be named. He's a traitor. He went over to state. You guys know what I'm talking about. He had 17, and R.J. Davis scored 13. But here is the tail of the tape in this one. Notre Dame is averaging 73.4 points per game to Carolina's 81.9. Notre Dame is averaging giving up 69.3 to Carolina's 69.6. North Carolina has a 2% field goal percentage advantage over Notre Dame, 48-46. They're averaging 3 more rebounds per game than the Irish. They are a better facilitator with the basketball, 17 assists to 12 for the Irish. They're averaging more blocks, and they're actually averaging more steals per game for the first time in a long time against their opponent, the Fighting Irish. Now, North Carolina is going to be the taller, more athletic team in this one by a long shot, especially down there on the blocks, especially that first 5 that Micah Shrewsbury is probably going to put out there for Notre Dame. Virginia Tech's Amani Hansberry, who's only listed at 6'8", he scored 21 against the Irish in their last game, and he was absolutely feasting down low. When you take into consideration or you enter guys like Caleb Wilson, Henry Vasar into that equation, man, it should be a super difficult task for Micah Shrewsbury to kind of scheme against those guys. And then you couple that with the fact that Marcus Burton, Notre Dame's star guard, is out with a broken left ankle. that he unfortunately suffered against TCU back in December, Carolina should be in prime position in this ball game to have some stinking success. We all know that Marcus has made things interesting for the Irish against Carolina in the past, and the way that Carolina has just been eaten alive by really good guards, it couldn't have been more perfect timing for Marcus to miss this one because, that kid is pretty dadgum good, man. Wish him a speedy recovery, of course, man. So with Marcus Burton being out of the game, what is the key matchup for Russ the Tar Heel in this one, man? And I'm going to go with Old Faithful. I'm going to go with getting back to the basics, man. I'm going to say it's Caleb Wilson against probably Jalen Harrelson, their leading scorer. Now, Harrelson is averaging 14.7 points per game to C-Dub's 19.7. He's averaging 3.5 rebounds to Caleb's 10.6. So Caleb is averaging a double-double on the season. Caleb Wilson's averaging more assists. He's got a much higher field goal percentage. Neither one of them is shooting the three ball very effectively. And the free throw percentage is pretty comparable as well. C-Dub is 69.8, kind of trending upward just a tick from here as of late. C-Dub's averaging more blocks per game, and he's also averaging more steals. Now, Carolina needs to make a concerted effort early and often to get the ball down to Caleb Wilson on the blocks, period. This is a game, in my personal opinion, that Carolina needs to understand who they are as a team. You are an inside-out basketball team. I know that we all had some high hopes that some of these guys would come along as consistent shooters, but let's be stinking realistic. We're halfway through the season, and it just hasn't happened. Now, when I played back in the day, man, we had a rule, okay? Unless you're on the break, you do not take a shot until the post has gotten a touch. Anytime you're running any of your half-court sets, bro. That needs to be Carolina's philosophy from here on out. Unless Caleb and or Henry touch the ball in the post on any half-court set, nobody better stinking take a shot, period. That is this team's identity, period. The 4 and the 5, inside, out. And we should be able to expose Notre Dame offensively down in the paint anyway. The Irish are just going to be a smaller team. Now, defensively, I expect Harrelson to get into double figures, but what we cannot allow, dude, is for guys like Cole Serta, Brady Kohler, Braden Shrewsbury, the stinking coach's son, to be getting open looks from beyond the arc. That is the one thing that can keep the Irish in this game, and that has been the heel's Achilles heel, no pun intended, for the past 4 or 5 dadgum games, man. Stay on your man. We need to have hard hedges from our bigs on the high ball screens out top. We need to fight through the stinking screen for the love of all things that is dadgum holy, man. And just lock up your guy. No switching, man. Once again, no Marcus Burton equals no dadgum excuse for you not to be able to stay in front of your man. But I know that that's not going to stinking happen. What do I know? Now, the ESPN matchup indicator gives the Heels a 79.5% chance of beating the Irish, which is almost a disrespectful backhanded smack in the face considering this game is at home. And to be completely honest with you, it's probably well-deserved that they're not a little more confident in Carolina's ability to get this stinking dub, despite Carolina being a perfect 11-0 on the season in the Dean Dome. And the college basketball family is a little more hesitant to necessarily just give Carolina the nod in this one as well, man. There's a lot of people that are kind of on shaky ground as far as the confidence is concerned, man. But I personally do think that Carolina gets this victory by 10 to 15 points, nothing special, which unfortunately I said that the last 2 games too, and Carolina didn't get the job done. But I do think that they get this dub at the house because a loss here, man. A loss here, and I am not pulling any punches on this one. A loss here at home at this point should have severe consequences. Severe. And I think you guys know exactly what the heck I'm talking about, man. So you let me know what you think about this game down in the comments section, Tar Heel Nation and college basketball family. Is your boy on to something? Or do you think that I'm stinking on something, man? Do me a favor and subscribe to the channel on your way out of this thing. Hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified every time this Tar Heel makes a Carolina video. And as always, baby, it's go to hell, Duke. Go to Hell State, and we'll see you for the second half of the watch party, baby. Go Heels.